Some texts change what you believe. Others change how you look at yourself. Today we explore one of the most challenging teachings attributed to Jesus. Now I know a lot of spiritual people start heading for the stop button when you hear the word Jesus. I suggest hanging out with me and listen to what I'm about to say without prejudice. This is a teaching that turns inward and asks a question that continues to echo through centuries. The question is, what have you brought forth from within yourself? Many people that honestly ask themselves this question will sit there and ponder aimlessly without anything coming to the forefront. So there are many writings that they conveniently left out of the Bible. One of them is the Gospel of Thomas. It's a collection of 114 sayings attributed to Jesus. This was discovered in 1945 near Nag Hammadi in Egypt. Unlike the Gospels of the New Testament, Thomas contains no miracles, no resurrection narrative, and no storyline. It's a gospel of voice, not events, a gospel of sayings, not stories. And among these sayings is number 70, which reads, "If you bring forth what is within you, what you bring forth will save you. If you do not bring forth what is within you, what you do not bring forth will destroy you." So at a first glance, this sounds like advice from a spiritual teacher, maybe even a poet. But what does it mean, and why has it endured? Saying 70 is about potential, but not just talent. It speaks to the deepest truth hidden inside each person. Some scholars hear echoes of ancient wisdom traditions, like Hebrew prophetic visions about God writing truth on the heart, or Greek philosophical insights about knowing oneself, or maybe Egyptian mystical traditions emphasizing inner transformation. But in Thomas, this message is not philosophical. It is urgent. What is within us can save, but if repressed, ignored, or feared, it can destroy. This raises a question of every viewer. What possibility, honesty, courage, or calling have I left unspoken? And what has my silence cost me? The language of saving and destroying suggests something dramatic, something spiritual. But here, the salvation isn't an external rescue. It isn't something descending from the skies. Instead, salvation is something emerging from within, like lights through cracks, like a seed breaking open. To bring forth what is within you means to make your inner truth visible to the world. Your compassion, your gifts, your integrity, your creativity, your voice. When that happens, it becomes life-giving, not just for you, but often for others as well. But what about the second half of the saying? If you do not bring forth what is within you, what you do not bring forth will destroy you. Here's a warning from Jesus. The unexpressed inside of us does not disappear. It festers. It grows. The unspoken truth becomes a secret. The unused talent becomes regret. The unhealed wound becomes bitterness. The unlived life becomes despair. In life coaching language, we might say what we repress eventually returns in destructive ways. In spiritual language, we might say the soul demands expression and punishes us when we refuse. Many Christian teachings focus on what God does for humanity. Thomas 70 focus on what you must do. This saying calls the listener to responsibility, not for cosmic events, but for your own becoming. In this teaching, God gives gifts, seeds, possibilities, but it's you that must bring them forth. This is not salvation by achievement. It is salvation by authenticity. Let's pause right now, not as historians, but as humans. Think of something inside of you that you have not yet brought forth. I know, to think off the cuff like this is a little hard. I'll give you a couple examples. A word you need to say, a boundary you need to set, possibly a dream you kept postponing, a truth you fear to admit, a generosity you've withheld, a healing you avoid, a talent you hide, or a calling you haven't answered. What would your life look like if you brought that forth? And what will the cost to you be if you don't? 2,000 years later, Thomas 70 remains a spiritual mirror. It doesn't tell you what to believe. It doesn't threaten or promise miracles. It simply asks, what is within you waiting to be born? Every generation must answer this question, as individuals and as communities. What is within our societies? Creativity, compassion, justice that we fail to bring forth? What is within you? Kindness, vision, courage that you still hide? Today, you don't need to have all the answers. Just take one step toward bringing forth what is truly within you, not the expectations others place on you, not the role you feel pressured to play, but the authentic self who longs to rise. But in this saying, Jesus doesn't warn you of judgment from above. He warns you of the cost of ignoring your own soul. So remember this saying, if you bring forth what is within you, what you bring forth will save you. If you do not bring forth what is within you, what you do not bring forth will destroy you. May you have the courage to face what is within, to bring it forth, and discover the salvation that emerges from walking your own truth. What will you bring forth today?